change gon' come. The change gon' come.
Yo, what is going on, Dank fam and YouTube? Today we are talking about my new bike. This is the 2023 Sur-Ron LightBee that I paid 500 bucks for. I know that sounds like cat people, but I'm going to explain in today's story time how I managed to grab one of these for $500 with only 300 miles on it. I've been loving this thing. I'm going to break down a couple of the parts that I put on it because basically this is a poor man's Sur-Ron stunt build, meaning I didn't spend thousands of dollars on parts. I spent maybe right around 1,500 bucks or so if I had to guess. The number one thing that I wanted to upgrade on this was the brakes. The brakes are the only thing that I'm really super concerned about. So I went ahead and grabbed the Warp 9 floating 120 rotors, these fancy E4 brakes. What's going on? You a cop? Yeah, I did like 50.
Hey, look out. You know how to turn this?
How to turn it up? Oh, you need to, you got Instagram? You gotta hit up my boy Electric Tips in Orlando, man. He turns anything into like more power.
Oh, you making a video right now?
Yeah.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
So I'm on the video?
If you want to be.
Not really. All right, well, I'm gonna let you get back to your video, my friend.
All right, man. It's a pleasure meeting you. You stay for a second. I'll pull off. You'll see someone.
I'm gonna sit right here.
All right, sounds good. So the budget, poor man's Sur-Ron build for stunting. This is it. The main thing is you can upgrade the controller, the battery, and the motor. That's going to cost you a couple $1,000s, but why do that when you can just get a less than $100 Warp 9 54-2 sprocket? And then I swapped out the O-ring chain for a non-O-ring chain, and then we went ahead and swapped out the linkage and also the seat extenders. That way it doesn't feel like a super tiny bike for me. So I spent the $500 to $300 on the 17-inch wheels, tried them for a day and hated them. Felt like the bike was just going to fall over on me. Yeah, I got you. All right, people, we are on the Sur-Ron. I've never rode downtown St. Pete on the Sur-Ron, so I'm not sure how they feel about it, but we're getting to it. Got like a park ranger looking dude. Man, all right, so the $500 Sur-Ron, how did it happen? So there's some time and effort invested. Oh, geez. As far as getting to the $500 point, but it all started out because I went to a Tampa ride with some people, and they showed me what it was like to ride a Sur-Ron, and I was like, man, this e-bike feels so similar to a regular bike as far as the power band and wheeling it, that it's actually practical and fun. So I wanted a Sur-Ron at that point. So you guys might have seen I did a couple unboxing first ride videos on some weird electric bikes, but one that was actually really fun was the chopper. Oh yeah, I lose my breath on this thing too, I'm being honest with you. My guy back there was kind of getting me flustered to talk in front of him, but my favorite thing of this whole bike is the Hope Tech 4 master cylinders as well as the Hope Tech E4 calipers. So if you guys are familiar with these brakes, you want to go with the V4. They have more bite apparently, but the E4 is for like downhill mountain biking. So not as much bite, a little more spongy, but they work really well. And as far as the downside with these brakes is they're about $600 to $800 for a whole set. I found them on Marketplace for $450. And then of course after I bought them I realized that there's two different kinds, the E4 and the V4, but yeah, that's what we got stuck with. That's the horn. So the one bike that I got that I really liked was the electric chopper, and I thought it would be hilarious to go to the Tampa e-bike ride on Tuesday nights where everybody's wheeling and stuff and bring the chopper out and just kind of mob with everybody, and it ended up being hilarious. And of course people let me ride their Sur-Rons again, and at that point I was a little more familiar with it, so I was starting to hand drag it and whatnot, and I was like, man, I really need a Sur-Ron. So yeah, that made the goal right there after doing the video review for the company, to sell the e-bike and get as close to a Sur-Ron as I could without coming out of pocket, with the profits from that e-bike I sold, being the chopper, with the profits from the chopper I sold. Are we getting in there? Looking good, looking good. This bike is just crazy to maintain. About to dip in the water, baby. So here I am listing this electric chopper on Marketplace, and I didn't get any bites for weeks, surprisingly. It don't make no sense, right? Are you getting a golf cart crash? Alright, so I posted the electric chopper on Marketplace for I think 2,500 bucks. They're worth about $3 grand. And weeks went by, nobody was hitting me back for the electric chopper. And finally this old stickler, and all the most respect, because I'm a stickler as well, Mr. What the hell was his name now? I can't even remember. The lowball grandfather himself hit me up and was like, yo, I want it. He came and did a test ride and didn't even give me an offer. He just left. And I was like, who does that? Then he like hits me up later and he's like, yo, give it to me for $1,500. And me and this like 80-year-old man went back and forth for like a week or two. And finally I just caved and gave it to him for $1,500. I was like, dude, it's yours. So here I have 1,500 bucks for the chopper and no chance of buying a Sur-Ron with that money. So I did what any smart person would do, and I bought a Gixxer 600 for 2,000 bucks. So at that point I'm $500 out of pocket. And one day into owning that Gixxer, I opened up my garage the next morning and I realized what the silly mistake I made. Ended up asking a guy that I wanted to trade a Grom for a Sur-Ron if he would take the Gixxer instead, because he declined the Grom. And he's like, what's it look like? And dude, it was just so perfect, because he bought all these Sur-Rons for him and his family, and his son is his son's a grown man, but his son whoa, he owns a Gixxer as well, but his son doesn't have a bike. So he's like, what's the Gixxer look like? I'll get the Gixxer for my son. So it worked out perfect, dude. I showed up, this Gixxer literally needed nothing mechanically. It was ready to roll, and he went and traded me straight up for that thing. So here I am, 500 bucks into the Surron, and I'm like, yo, this is gangster. But look at us, we're just wheeling everywhere. You can't be doing this in public on the Gixxer. Everywhere is your stunt spot now. This is so peaceful, man. I'm glad I'm doing a vlog finally on this thing for you guys. I have so much fun and it's just never documented. Just chilling. So yeah, the craziest part of this whole story is I traded this $2,000 Gixxer to the guy for a $5,000 Sur-Ron pretty much. It was brand new. And then instead of his son keeping it and riding with him in the sunset with his dad and his Gixxer, he went ahead and sold it to his neighbor that was hanging out with us when we made the trade for $5 grand, which is insane. You don't get $5 grand for an 06 Gixxer, but honestly, that's how clean this thing was. It's crazy. That guy's cheesing. Let's park it. So this is like a bike lane technically. My buddy told me when he came through here and rode, St. Pete was pretty chill. Just try not to be ignorant about it, you know? Just look like you know what you're doing. But yeah, this is a bone stock power-wise Surron besides the 54 tooth rear sprocket, which made this thing doable. Like without that sprocket, everything, you gotta yank the shit out of the throttle. Look at that, I'm just maneuvering casually. I'm not good at rights yet, especially those kind. Risky business. Going down might be a little easier. Oh yeah, the swerving on this thing is sick. Alright, we're just gonna, I guess, go further into downtown. So not only did I trade this bike and get a crazy deal, everybody was happy in the deal. This is a one-lane road. I did not know that. I don't know how I saved that. So I planned on doing this story time and wrapping the video up pretty quickly, but little did I know the Surron's so much fun that I'd be riding for another couple hours, and I didn't want to sell myself short and not post all that footage. So I'm going to make this video 2 parts and end this video right here. So if you guys enjoyed the Surron footage so far, please let me know and I'll be sure to post more. But other than that, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and like always, keep it dank. Later.